It's your boy AD back with another video. Now today's video we're gonna be with Naruto and Hanabi, well, a prodigy couple part 7. So yeah. Anyways, get this video 50 like for the next one, and yeah. I know this is pretty much like kind of a long there's a lot of parts to this what if as so far, so yeah. Don't worry, I'm not like planning on making this what if too long, but like I kind of enjoy making this what if and stuff, and yeah, so I'm doing a lot of parts on this one. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think of this part, and yeah, without further ado, let's just get the video started. So yeah, we start off with Hanabi, Jiraiya, and Kushina, who were basically walking to the Whirlpool Village ruins, as it was destroyed a long time ago, but there was a barrier surrounding it, and so the people who destroyed it couldn't take all the money, weapon, material, and anything like that from it. So we skipped a couple of hours later. They got to the Whirlpool ruins, as the place was destroyed, as they were angry, not because of the place being destroyed, due to them already knowing about it was like this, but they tried to walk around and saw something that made Naruto and Kushina pissed off to a high degree, and Hanabi and Jiraiya were pissed off too, but not as much as Naruto and Kushina. They were mostly disappointed, as basically they saw all the dead Uzumaki laying on the ground. They didn't get a proper funeral. They were just left there to rot. As we skip later to the next. Oh fuck, shit. Oh my gosh, I messed up again. Alright. Anyways, we skip later to like the next freaking week. They were just finished cleaning up the dead corpses and buried them, to be specific, as they basically have gotten a proper funeral now. Once basically, yeah, they basically got a funeral, as basically they burned, like basically they broke the building, like they broke down the remains of the buildings, like how the houses like destroyed. They took the piece of wood and stuff like that, they burned them, like the bricks and shit, they like put them away and shit and stuff like that. Basically they cleaned up the place, all right. And yeah, anyways, we now see basically an open flat area, like flat land and shit, as like it had a decent sized lake, and in there, as there were about 5 rivers, and even animals and birds like rabbit, dogs, and all those start walking around and flying, keeping the place alive and not a deserted area, as this is like a 14-year-old Naruto and Hanabi, and in the ninja world you graduate at like academy at like 13 unless you fail, but yeah, after you graduate you're considered adult. So yeah, it's like you're 18. So yeah, but if you follow those rules, Naruto and Hanabi would be considered 19 at this point. So yeah, anyways, as the group would walk up to a table where there will basically be a map of the area, a very detailed map actually, as Naruto would say, so go ahead and draw what you want, as in where you want it, as then Jiraiya would say there need to be a giant hot spring with holes in the walls, as he would basically get a small nosebleed, thinking about the basically being able to basically, you know, peep on people and shit freely. As he would get a glare from everyone, as then Naruto would say, okay, a hot spring with extra thick walls, as Jiraiya would basically start to cry, anime tears, as Kushina would say, we need to get 5 bedrooms, as Naruto would say, alright, in a living room and kitchen and dining room and everything like that. So basically, they would draw a giant mansion, as Naruto would say, okay, I will create now, as Naruto would activate his Rinnegan, as he would put his hands up, like, as everyone would look in amazement, as the place would shake violently, as then the giant mansion would start to form itself out of nothing, as then it stopped after finishing being complete, as then Naruto looked pleased with himself, as then they would go inside to check it out, as they would basically see that it has been fully furnitized, like it has TVs, like it has TV couch, and stuff like that. Even like food and everything. They would go to pick up the rooms, as all of them would pick a room, with Kushina being the first one, then Jiraiya, as they expected Naruto to go next, and then Hanabi, but saw that they basically went to the last room, and they basically, there was like 2 rooms separating Hanabi and Naruto from Jiraiya and Kushina. As they'll pick the last room, as Kushina would say, wait a minute, you guys all share rooms? As they would say, yes. Kushina would basically look at them saying no way, but Jiraiya being the GOAT that he is, would come in by basically taking his notebook out and writing down something while looking at Kushina, as she took her focus off Naruto and Hanabi and tried to beat and drag Jiraiya away, as Jiraiya gave Naruto a thumbs up while basically giggling to himself. Perfectly to be exact, and making Naruto and Hanabi blush and quickly go into the room to see a giant bed in a big closet and stuff like that. As then Hanabi would say, that bed looks good but doesn't seem to be, the bed looks good but doesn't seem to be strong. As Naruto would say, really, as Hanabi would look back to see Naruto push her to the bed and started kissing her, as he would say, well, why don't we check if the bed is strong enough to basically hold us and shit. As Hanabi would basically kind of get a shiver down his spine, as then would skip 5 hours later, as we see Kushina downstairs finish cooking, as she would say to Jiraiya, who basically was sitting down at the table, to go get the kids, as he would nod and go upstairs to tell them that the food is ready and shit. Oh my gosh. As Jiraiya would basically go up, and basically he would open the door to see a passed out Hanabi on Naruto naked, but with cover, like something's covering, like a blanket covering her, but like he could tell that they were naked. As Naruto would look to see him open the door, as he would basically start to panic, but Jiraiya gave him a thumbs up and said, come eat, as Naruto sighed in relief. And since Jiraiya wasn't mad about it or anything, as then Naruto woke up Hanabi and told her, Jiraiya went away, as then Naruto woke up Hanabi and told her to basically that they have to go. As then she put on her clothes back, as Naruto did the same, as they went down to eat, and Hanabi was being more clingy than usual, as Kushina saw it but didn't ask about it. As then Hanabi says, so what are we going to do now, as that the bingo book has been updated and the villagers know that we of our existence, As Kushina says, well, there's a tuning exam. Let me see if I'm actually recording this. Alright. Well, there's a tuning. Oh, fuck. Well, Hanabi will basically ask that and shit, and then Kushina would say, well, there's a tuning exam happening soon. We could go watch it or even try to get you two in there. As Hanabi would say, oh, okay, how are we supposed to do that? If you haven't realized, we aren't with any villages, so we won't get access to that. As then, oh my gosh, we won't get access to that, especially since it is in Konoha this year. You have a point, Jiraiya would say. Kushina would say, but I'm sure Jiraiya can arrange something. As Kushina was smirking while Jiraiya was sweating. As then Jiraiya would disappear in a puff of smoke, as leaving behind a piece of paper. As Kushina read it and smiled, as he said, I will get in contact with someone. As then we skip a couple of hours later, we see Jiraiya in the land of Rice. As Jiraiya looked in front of him to see a base. It was one of Orochimaru's secret bases, but it wasn't what he was focused on. There was someone standing in front of the entrance. It was Orochimaru himself, as his trusted advisor was not far away from him, of course, as Kabuto came from inside the base, my bad. Then he walked to Orochimaru standing next to him, as Jiraiya would stop in front of them. As then Orochimaru said, Jiraiya, it's been a long time. How has it been? As Jiraiya says, it's been good anyways. I have a favor to ask. As Orochimaru would say, okay, come on in. As then they walk into the base. We skip 5 minutes later, as Debisky was sitting down as Kabuto went into a room. As then Orochimaru says, what brings you here, old friend? As Jiraiya says, like I said before, I need a favor from you. And as then basically Orochimaru said, what is it? What's the favor? As Jiraiya says, I want you to let 2 people participate in the tuning exams under the Hidden Sound Village. As Orochimaru would be shocked but wouldn't show it. But he would I would say, okay, but is there any specific reason why you want me to do that? As if you don't mind me asking, as Jiraiya would say, you will see soon enough, as he would basically put away into smoke. As then Kabuto would come into the room. As then Orochimaru would say, did you get the DNAs of the previous Hokage? As Kabuto would nod, saying, I have the DNAs of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju, the fourth Hokage, Miyato Namikaze. As Orochimaru would say, good job, Kabuto, get ready. As we skip to Naruto and his group. They were basically all getting ready to go to the Henleaf village. They were all sealing away some kunai, shuriken, chakras, strings, and all that. As Naruto didn't use the executioner's blade, but he just put it on the pedestal and glass surrounding it to keep it safe and still be able to appreciate it in a safe place, basically, where they keep important stuff like that. As Naruto used a weapon, and so did Hanabi, but I'm not gonna tell you what weapon it is yet. As we skip 10 minutes later, as they basically were ready to go, as Naruto and Hanabi put a sound headband in their bags, but as they were not wearing it on their head or anything, they basically went out into an open field. As Hanabi activated her Tensei gun and created some Tensei gun orbs, basically the chakra orbs or whatever that Tensei gun can create. As then uh she made she made them like make a platform, like flat platform, and they all went on it and fly away they basically as they basically were not being hurt by them, because she made them not hurt them, as they basically were going to the Leaf Village. As we skip a bit later, they basically got to the outskirts of the Leaf Village. Then Hanabi deactivated her Tentagon, and the Tentagon orbs disappeared as the team started to just walk to the gates, as they basically they walk to a gate as freaking hell, bro. They basically walk to a gate as they basically did they say hi to freaking gatekeepers, whatever, like the guards, and they signed their names and showed that they're part of the shooting exams. As they basically got entry to the Leaf Village. As we skip later on that night, as Naruto and Hanabi were on a date having a good time, as Naruto took her to take some Ichiraku ramen, and yeah, him and the woman guy, like, and the woman daughter guy, whatever, like the two, like the woman guy and the woman, I forgot her name, but yeah, they basically had a heartwarming reunion with the woman guy and the woman girl's daughter, whatever, as they basically were enjoying themselves, laughing, and so on. As we skip over to Hinata Hyuga, fuck, doing this shit. Hinata Hyuga, as she basically had just finished getting ready as not Hanabi, as Hiyashi had promised to take her to the ramen shop that she likes so much, due to her basically doing a good job at her training session. But he never knew why she liked the ramen place so much, as they started to walk out the compound, ignoring the looks of respect from the villagers, as they basically got to a ramen shop, but was like how do I say this? Like, it was basically like a silence. Like, they didn't really talk. As they basically got to a place and sit down, as the only word that they said was like, "Hey, actually saying good job at your training." As they basically got there and saw two people laughing, but didn't pay them any mind, as they basically ate in silence. But before they left, Hinata was thinking they sound very familiar, but didn't bother them, not wanting to seem weird or bad in front of her father. But that was until the girl said, "Naruto-kun, stop messing around with me," as Naruto says, "Come on, Hanabi-chan, you know you like it." But guys, this is I'm gonna be off. If you guys like and enjoy, get this video to 50 likes for the next one. And yeah, I will be working on the next one as soon as possible. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this one. And for further news, I'm gonna be off for now. Peace.